Hello, this is Kyle from CSJ Props. This is going to serve as a short demonstration video for how to use this new saber of yours. First of all, you'll see a silver button in the black box here on the saber. That is what's known as the kill key, and that shuts the power off to the main saber itself. So in order to use the saber, you first have to pull that out, and don't lose it, because you're going to want to be able to put it back in afterwards. That's your recharge port that fits into. So when you're using your charger, you just plug it in there like you would your cell phone or your laptop or anything else. There is a special charger that comes with it, and it is for a 3.7 volt lithium ion battery. So you have to make sure you use the right type of charger for it. I've included it in the package, so you will see it as well. Now once the saber has powered on, you see the two flashing lights. The green activates the actual blade itself, and the red is used to change settings and to activate the auxiliary functions of the blade while it's running. So, for instance, if you press the button on the green, you're going to get the blade going to light up. Now, in order to shut the blade off, press and hold until it shuts off. Now, when you're using the saber and it's in running mode, and you press the secondary button, you're going to see that it's going to do a special effect, and the blade color is going to change. It's going to make a noise. If you press and hold it, it will start flickering and flashing like that, and it'll keep going until you tap the button again. Okay, and that's what's known as a lockup feature. Now you're also going to see there's an Allen key included with this. That Allen key is intended for the set screw that's up here, and this is what holds your blade tight. And when you go to put the blade into this, make sure that this set screw is backed off enough that there's clearance inside, that the blade's not going to hit it and get stuck when you're trying to put it in all the way. All right, now I've got just a little practice blade here to use to show you how it works. You just slide it down inside, lock this screw in place, tighten it up. You don't have to go too crazy tight. Just snug it up really good. If you go too tight, you could actually damage the blade, crack the blade, and then it might come apart on you. It can be fixed if that does happen, though you don't need to really tighten it down too hard. So once that's in, now you can see what it's like with the blade in it. Now with this saber, the design of it, if you twist the hilt, you'll get a color change feature. So all I'm doing is I'm just giving it a quick, little flick of the wrist, and it changes colors. And it'll keep rotating like that. And of course, that affects whatever color shows up when you use this afterwards, depending on what color the blade happens to be at the time. There are also additional sound effects on the saber. Different programming that's predetermined on it. So if you hit this button here, it will tell you which sound bank you're on. If you hit it again,
Essence, episode 1.
It'll skip to the next set of sound effects. Hit it again, it'll go to the one after that. And you can cycle through like that until you get to this one here, which is an audio player. You can actually load sound files onto this, and you can play it as an MP3 player. It actually uses WAV files, but it's the same premise. So then when you use your main button to turn on the blade, what'll happen is rather than the blade activating, it simply plays music, whatever files you've previously loaded onto it. Tapping the auxiliary button will skip to the next track. If there's only X number of tracks loaded onto it, when you get the end and hit it, it'll just cycle to the next one. It'll go to the one that was first in line. So it'll start playing again from the beginning. If you want to stop it, you just press and hold that the same way you would when you're turning off the blade. And then when you want to get out of saber tracks and go back to regular saber function, just hit the auxiliary button twice. That'll bring you back to your first sound font, and now you're back in regular saber mode. And you can use it the way you were before. When you're all done with the saber, just put the kill key back in, push it down tight, and the saber will shut off and it'll stay off. And that'll keep your saber from draining the battery when it's in storage. Speaking of the battery, this is your charger. There is an LED indicator on the front here that will glow green when it's fully charged. It'll stay red until it's charged. It can take a number of hours to charge up, so be patient with it. Now, the blade I'm including with this, you'll see has a black cap on the end. The reason for that being two things. One, to keep dirt and debris and anything like that from getting inside the blade, because that'll show up when you light up the blade. You'll see those little flecks inside of it. The other reason being, there's a film inside of this that helps to diffuse the light to give you a more full blade. You want to keep that in there. So when you go to put this into the saber, what happens is when you take the cap off, this comes loose and it can slide out the end. So you don't want to turn the saber blade upside down without the cap on or without the saber attached, or it could fall out the bottom. So once you've taken the cap off, for instance, when you go to put it into your saber, just let me take the other blade out here. There. When you go to put it into your saber, rather than holding the saber up and sliding the blade into it, what'll happen is when you go to do that, sometimes the film will come out like this. So instead, hold the blade downward and actually slide the saber onto the end of the blade. Now remember, if you're having trouble sliding the blade in, make sure that the set screw here is actually loosened off enough that it's going to let the blade slide in freely. Okay, and then once it's in, you just tighten that down and you're done. I will take it out for now and put the cap back on it. What you will find as well, please, as a warning, do not look directly into the end of the saber. If you look into the end of it, you will hurt your eyes. It is very, very bright. I'll give you a for instance on the screen here because I can do it here safely. This is how bright this is without a blade attached. You can actually do serious damage to your eyes if you let anyone stare at that. It's not like just shining a flashlight in your eyes. It's pretty bad. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep it off when it's not in use, and don't look in the end when you don't have a blade attached to it. Anyway, that is everything, I think. If you have any questions, there is documentation included in the kit. There's an SD card in there with information in it, has a link to my website. Feel free to contact me for any questions or concerns you may have, and I will give you a hand with anything you might need. Thank you very much, and enjoy your new saber.